Compliance Will Test You. It's a film that's directed by Craig Zobel. It's a horror film about the violence or the blood, but there is some violence in this film, and it's sexual violence, it's rape, it's lots of horrific things like that. We don't see them, but they are certainly implied. We only get to see glimpses, but not everything in full. But we know that crimes have been committed beyond compare here, and a voice compels those crimes. The voice says that it is a police officer, and a police officer running an investigation of one of the Chickwich Sandwich restaurant's employees named Becky, a teenager who works really hard, doesn't necessarily get along with her boss Sandra, played by Ann Dowd, but manages to stay on one side and work the best she can. Now the police officer, played by Pat Healy, says that he is in the middle of an investigation, cannot get to the restaurant, but will get there. And in the meanwhile, he has asked Sandra, played by Ann Dowd, who's really good here, to conduct a search of Becky for the money that she is accused of stealing. Now, Becky protests vehemently about this and her innocence. She is absolutely 100% innocent, she declares, and never committed a crime in her life at all. We get to see how Dreama Walker drafts this character from one being happy-go-lucky and mischievous, perhaps a little backtalkish, to someone placed in the most abject horror of situations as she's detained. It's really a transitional film. It goes from very quickly one place to another, and it goes there, though, in a slow burn. It's really a testament of what authority does to people and how it's delegated, and how people self-police and yet don't look at common sense or rationale while they commit extra-legal affairs and crimes that really deserve redress. The film doesn't give us a respite. The film does not allow us to look away. In fact, Mr. Zobel has crafted this film in a way that makes us feel as if we are absolutely dirty for watching what we see happen in the film, especially what happens to Becky, which is ultra horrific. And that's why I think people will be very uncomfortable with this film. They'll walk out of the film. I know they have here in San Francisco, where this film played recently at the San Francisco International Film Festival. I counted no fewer than 30 people, 30, who walked out of this film well before it had finished. And the film will leave you shouting. It makes you angry because you see what these people are doing, and they know that what they're doing is wrong, yet they listen to that voice on the phone that tells them, that voice perhaps that could be their conscience, tell them that this is the right thing to do and that they will go ahead and do it anyway. It's like a Milgram experiment. It's a film that tests your own endurance. What are you willing to put up with? What are you willing to watch and endure? If you leave this film, are you leaving Becky behind as well as the film? Are you turning your back on her? If you stay, are you complicit in what happens to her by just watching? And I think in this sense, Compliance is a wonderful piece of Rorschach test art. It really does probe the audience, and that's what great art does. It provokes and it throws a mirror back in the face of the audience. Craig Zobel, I think, has committed a very brave film to the big screen, because a lot of people will not find this film to be pretty viewing, and they'll find it highly objectionable. The performers are very good, especially Ann Dowd, and I think Craig Zobel, the way he's built this film and directed this film, and the way the film plays, has really put together, in his second feature film, a very assured and mature piece of work, and definitely confrontational and divisive. And that's what great cinema can be.